So who's your greatest teacher? Who's the person in your life that could say, I've gave you your best lessons that you needed to survive here on earth, here in this life? That's a question I like to ask people. I also had asked my brother, Dr. Umar, that question too. When he answered that question, he said the ancestors. I told him, I'm not talking about people that you've never seen in your life or, that you don't know anything about. I'm talking about in your life, here, now, in real time, throughout your physical life. Who was your best teacher? I'm asking you that too. Who was your best teacher? So when I take that question, especially among people of color, black people, they absolutely, and I think it's just not to black. I believe it's probably to anyone, but definitely black. They definitely say either their mother or their grandmother. It never fails. I mean, it just never fails unless they didn't know them. I ran into some people that never knew their mama was adopted or something, or that's like a different thing. But if they knew them, it's always on the money when they really deeply think about the question. It's their grandmother or their mother. I asked you the same question, so only you know the truth inside of you what that answer was. Now, when I asked Dr. Umar that, and after I asked you that, I say to you, what did they teach you? And when I say what did they teach you, did they teach you the testimony of Jesus Christ? Now, you see, when I said that to my brother, Dr. Umar, like many of you just reacted. You say, yeah, but. It is no but. It is no but. You just admitted to yourself. Forget me. You just admitted to yourself the best teacher you have had has been your mother or your grandmother. And I told you, what did they teach you? Did they teach you the testimony of Jesus Christ? And you know that's the truth, that they taught you that. Now, I know there are some that be like, oh, Bigga, you're wrong now. You're wrong. My parents taught me Elijah Muhammad or taught me Islam. Oh, all right. You see? Did they mother teach them that? They get, or did they learn that? Did your mom learn that, or your dad learned that somewhere in the 60s and went against what they own parents, like I said, the grandparents taught them? Now, what you believe is that you're smarter somehow than the people that you just admitted that were your best teacher. Because that's what you're doing at that point. You're saying the people that have taught you the best, you're smarter than them. You know better than they know now. They taught you Jesus Christ. Do you think that was just by chance, by accident? Oh, no, Bigger. That's what the slave masters taught them. Are you people really that ignorant? That concerns me. And it hurts me a little bit because the mental state of you guys must be way off. Have you ever opened up the Bible and read it? Have you ever opened up the scriptures and really, really opened up your heart and studied them? So you tell me the slave master that was raping, killing, murdering, that didn't even know how to grow food from the ground, had to learn all of that stuff, that was living like a savage in caves at some point in Europe, wrote the scriptures. Mind you, scriptures that not based out of Europe, scriptures that's based out of what you would call Africa. He wrote that. And he wrote such a beautiful manuscript that would last thousands and thousands and thousands of years with the purpose of enslaving some people for about 400 or 500 years. He was able to write such a beautiful manuscript that was the purpose of writing that manuscript, to enslave some people for a few hundred years. So he wrote that beautiful manuscript. You even think that he had the ability to write that manuscript? Have you read it? No, obviously you haven't read it and studied it, because you would already know that Satan would not have the ability. And when I say Satan, someone that is being controlled by the spirit of Satan, because either we're being controlled by God or the devil. So make no mistake about that. That's something else that y'all misunderstood, but that's a different conversation. But you're either being controlled by God or the devil. So you're telling me the spirit of the devil was able to write a manuscript, that was in that manuscript is salvation. You think it was a mistake that your grandmother taught you about Jesus Christ? And I know you say, oh, white man, blue eyes. You know what I'm saying? I challenge you. How many of you directly ever really heard your grandparents say that Jesus was a white man? And I'm talking about 40 and above. How many of you could actually, period, could ever say that you heard your elders tell you that Jesus was a white man, that really believed in the Bible and was studying the Bible, tell you that? Because you know, it really wouldn't make sense, because if they were studying the scriptures, they would see that, oh wow, he was raised in Egypt. His family flew to Egypt so they could blend in, because they was, the hit was out. How could he go to Egypt and blend in if he's not black? So anyone studying the scripture would have understood that. Now, going back to it, we talking about grandparents. So the grandparents come from what? The 50s, the 60s, right? That's where my grandparents would have been strong, around those times, in the 50s and the 60s. Do you think that in the 50s and 60s that black people would have been able to stand on that Jesus was black and say that he was black and not be murdered? Whole family slaughtered? Do you even know what you're talking about? Do you even know what our people suffered through? But I will tell you this. You probably heard them say this. You probably remember your grandmother saying, "Baby, it don't matter what color he is." They was teaching you something else.